All right, guys, well, welcome to the bottom of the bill. Before we talk about the guests, we just want to announce that we are doing our documentary, releasing it.
We're doing it.
Or sorry, we're releasing it anyways.
No, we're doing it.
We're doing it. We're going to be releasing it on a live stream July 26th right here on Bottom of the Bill. So we're going to have some cool stuff. We're going to have the full band, Sean, Aaron, me, Billy. We're going to be talking about the process and just answering Q&A stuff with anybody who's watching, and then we'll air the documentary. We'll be doing giveaways from some sponsors who we can't announce just yet, but we're very excited about it. So make sure you stick around for that. So today we had Flipturn on the show.
Yeah, man.
These guys are fucking awesome.
Wanted on here for a while.
Yeah.
Like basically since we started the podcast.
Yeah.
They're fucking amazing.
I think they're the first like indie pop rock band we've had on the show.
Maybe.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Don't check me on
that. But it was awesome. We talk about a lot of the touring they've been doing lately. Some of the festivals they have coming up, like Bonnaroo and South by Southwest.
Shaky Knees. That already happened.
The Shaky Knees already happened? Yeah, it already happened. Was
it good? All right. Good. It was great.
So just our songwriting process and the recording process, and just about the business
how to
that they're
make
running.
It big.
Yeah,
that's what we talked about.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff like that. And then also our unpopular opinions were really fun too. We get into
they're pretty neat.
As always, get into some pretty fun spaces and a lot of guitar oriented stuff as well.
Like a whole segment about just talking about guitars, which is really great for me.
Yeah,
because I can chime in the whole time.
But anyways, stick around, enjoy the episode. Let us know what you guys think in the comments.
Yeah,
thanks for hanging out.
New episode's coming out now.
This is Bottom of the Bill, where we talk about the modern grind of a musician.
Album cycle.
Hold on, Bill, give me a second, man. Because we don't know what we're talking about.
Spotify playlists.
You keep interrupting me. That's not how we discussed it. Just give me a second, man. We invite established artists
Festival lineups.
Can I just get my stuff out real quick? We invite established artists on to share their strategy to success.
Marketing strategies.
The premier do-it-yourself podcast.
#DIY.
Ah, screw it. This is Bottom of the Bill. All right, cool. Well, Mitch and Tristan from Flipturn.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks for finally getting on. I actually texted you guys on the Instagram text thing, I think about a year and a half ago. And never got a response. So.
Yeah, it's definitely not my fault.
No.
Yeah. Definitely not mine.
Who's it go to?
All of us.
Yeah.
So you saw and you were just like, nah, we'll wait a year.
It probably goes, you know how it has like the little requests.
Oh yeah, the hidden requests.
Right?
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of them. So
they get a lot of messages, Bill. They're
we
important.
Get so
band.
many.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's totally cool.
I believe they call that big timing in the industry.
Oh no, I didn't think. No, they're in my house right now. I just needed to confront you about it.
Why did you not respond to my message?
I just had like a kill list right here. It's like Flipturn. Cross it out.
Kill list.
Jesus. Was that from Happy? That was Billy Madison.
Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for driving all the way from Fernandina. We know it's kind of a hike. You guys have been on the road a lot lately, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How's that been?
Great. I love it. And the roads are like different every day, but it's also the same every day. It's weird. It's like a cycle of like you go to the city, you do the thing, and go to another one. It keeps happening, and it's always different.
Yeah, totally. Are you guys? What kind of shows are you guys playing while you're out there? What kind of venues have you been playing?
I like club venues.
Venues?
Probably like 250 to like 500 cap.
Okay. And
Depends on the city.
Yeah.
And if we've been there before, but yeah, around there. Yeah.
Cool.
I know this last tour was some of the first time in a few cities, and it's pretty cool.
Cool. Well, I definitely want to get to all that because I'm super interested in this, like the business side of all that. But before we get started, for those who don't know, give us some background on Flipturn, what you guys are about.
Yeah. So we started like 6 years ago, I think 7 December. But we started in a Starbucks. Funnily enough, like
really?
Me and my girlfriend, now girlfriend, not at the time, but Madeline, we met at Starbucks and. We're like, hey, let's start a band. And so we called Dylan, our singer, and we're like, hey, you want to play with us? So we did, and we kind of grew out the band and played for a couple years. And now we have Mitch, and also another member joined, Devin. He joined like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's around two and a half now, I think. I met him in college.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And the band was
So actually we
established.
met UNF here in Jacksonville, and it was like before a test, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think I was like playing Switch or something, and he was like, "Is that a Switch?" And I was like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly what
yeah.
happened. You were playing like, I don't know, Splatoon
I think it was
or
Breath of the
something.
Wild, yeah.
Or Breath of the Wild, yeah. And I was like talkative that day for some reason, which I'm never talkative. So, but he was sitting right across from me, and it was 8 a.m. music theory class, which Chris also,
"Oh, you know about that?"
you know about that.
Man,
I
that
do
was
too. Why do they always do it at 8 o'clock in the
I
morning?
don't know.
Because they hate
It's
it.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It
They're
was the
really trying to
worst.
weed people out because I dropped out first semester.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing this 8 o'clock bullshit 3 times a
Terrible.
week.
A dominant seventh. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out. I already know this.
What's even that?
Yeah.
Did you all
crossed
stick through it?
voicings and all
Graduate
that shit.
everything?
Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
We,
Why would you?
we
Right?
actually simultaneously decided to drop out of the music program. We loved the music program, but it was ironically taking up a lot of time to go and play music. I mean, he was in Flipturn at the time. I wasn't, but he was literally traveling to Gainesville every day
Yeah, 2 hour drive.
and
Fuck.
coming back after like 3 a.m., coming back up, not sleeping. And I remember I would be like, is Tristan going to show up to class today? He had a show, and it was just so early.
Yeah, and during that time we were playing Gainesville like every month. Like we were playing this place called High Dive.
Oh yeah.
You probably know about it, yeah. But it was like every other month or every month we were there playing for some band, and that's where we started really like actually playing shows is High Dive in Gainesville.
Okay, cool. And when you guys started the band, was there like did you know more or less what you were trying to do when you were starting it? Because you guys have kind of specific branding, I feel like, across the board. Was that something intentional or just kind of work out that way?
I think a lot of it is we kind of knew what we wanted, and I don't know. I guess like seeing bands and seeing so much of like this like I guess the idea of the brand is like such a weird thing too, because it's like about like what you put out and how people see you, and so like I think we've tried to remain like authentic with that, and I think remaining authentic has helped us stay like consistent with branding, I guess, if you call it that. But,
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I know it's like just seeing that and just seeing so many bands like explode over the years, and like bands that we've looked up to for years, and I don't know, it's like inspiring to see that. And then we just all we knew was like, hey, we want to do this however long it takes us or whatever it takes to get there, you know.
That's awesome. And was like, I guess you're kind of like an indie rock, indie pop kind of veins, how you would describe yourselves.
Indie rock, yeah.
Is that what you kind of set out to do from the beginning?
Yeah, we listened to a lot of indie rock at the time, like when we started, and like I mean, we still do now, but like I don't know, I think a lot of it too, like we have very like spread out music like taste and like even like inspiration stuff too. But I think we started out for indie rock.
Nice. Yeah, you guys nailed it, man. I love the material. It's all really
It's
good.
definitely indie rock.
Yeah, I love it though. It's awesome. And what brought you guys to Fernandina?
Grew up there actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I moved there when I was 10 or 11, I think. And Madeline grew up there. Dylan moved there in 9th grade. But yeah, we all went to high school there. Mitch
I moved up
moved up
eventually.
but,
From Jacksonville?
Yeah, from Jacksonville. I'm originally from Orlando, moved to Jacksonville for college, and then moved up to Fernandina. And we currently, 4 of the members live together in the same house. So I live with Tristan, Madeline, and Dylan. And that's when I moved up to Fernandina. So yeah.
joined the club.
Nice.
Fernandina, yeah.
It's kind of like a cult you guys got going on.
Yeah, so we're the only
Same.
young people on the island. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just us.
I've noticed that that's a pretty I play up there quite often, and it's a very old island. Not much going on up there.
Where do you play?
Pretty much anywhere that has live music.
Saloon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The Palace we played at.
Yeah.
The
Turtle.
Green Turtle, obviously, with the band we play up there. And then I did Hammerhead recently, which don't think I'm gonna do that one again. No offense.
Do they
just
still
not my
have
vibe.
I can't remember the name of there's a hotel with like AstroTurf on the stage. We used to.
Dog Star.
No, not Dog Star. Dog Star was pretty
man.
cool,
That was
but
cool.
we used to take over this like awful motel right before you go over the bridge, and or not the bridge. Yeah, it's the bridge, and it was just hilarious that we just took over the whole damn place, but the whole stage was covered in AstroTurf.
That's so interesting.
So it's got to be gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
was.
probably gone.
It sounded like a really cool like sea island destination, but it was like a Motel 6 that had some sort of bar stage combo. It was just awful. It just
Interesting.
ruined the place.
I've never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot expanding on the island right now with like businesses moving in. Like I know like Salt Life just opened something up there, and
Yeah.
people buying up land. So
Yeah. What have you guys found it difficult to sustain what you guys are trying to do in Fernandina?
yes and no. I would say it's difficult to sustain just in the sense that like just how like interconnected the music industry is. It's like we can't really go out and meet people
Right.
because
Yeah.
we're kind of like off in our little secluded area. But I will say in the last 2 years for like writing, it was
That's helped.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's no distractions.
Right.
There's not even like, you don't even hear the sound of like cars on a highway. It's just an island. So you wake up, you don't have to go anywhere like Publix or whatever food you get. It's like right down the street, you come back. So if you're like writing, no distractions whatsoever, which we use for the past 2 years because we've been writing a lot and releasing music. But yeah, it's been nice for that. But yeah, getting like there's no city there. There's no city anywhere nearby that other than Jacksonville and Atlanta.
You do
So-
meet people, but it's like your neighbor. Or like,
Yeah.
like some guy who owns a bar down there. You're like, okay, yeah.
Right. That's
You
kind
know
of
everyone though.
that's kind of what sorry, I'm just turning my phone off. It's making noise over here. It's kind of what I've noticed about like just North Florida in general. It's kind of hard because there's not a lot of like music industry happening here. I mean, and we're trying to do what we can, like our part to change some of that, but like
Yeah.
it's hard because when you're coming up in bigger cities that have that kind of infrastructure,
Yeah.
like you can play shows and people will just kind of see you, or you can go to networking events and that kind of stuff. That kind of industry doesn't really exist here, but you guys have a pretty good social media following and your streaming numbers looking great, obviously. So how have you been able to kind of navigate this terrain and see that kind of success?
Definitely a day at a time is kind of like, I guess, our mantra. I don't know. I guess we don't really like look down, like, just because everything is a ladder. You're always climbing, but like, I don't know. It's hard to realize, like, even like where we are now, just because you don't. I guess it's definitely like a taking for granted kind of thing, but it's also like, I don't know. It's hard to like recognize success without like feeling like you're like admitting something to yourself, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I can understand that. But I mean, anybody can go check it out. You look at your Spotify page and like you can see the streaming numbers, and that's by my definition of success. That looks really good. And then your social media, obviously, and then you guys are touring and like not just touring and like playing like random gigs, but you're selling tickets at shows outside of your own city. That's not easy to do for a lot of bands,
We do have a good team around
Yeah.
us that we built up. Tour manager Caleb and Sam, our everything else manager. They really help because I when I joined, Caleb was already there, but he pushes us everywhere to go everywhere, and we also like touring, which is good.
Yeah.
'cause we tour a lot.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, when I joined the band, like the people coming to the shows outside the state, there was people coming, but just from then to now, the difference of how many people come is like tenfold. So I think what really helped is getting out of Florida and going everywhere else, and like just knowing that, oh, like we haven't played this city before. There's probably not going to be a lot of people coming up, but next time we come, more people will show up, and just having that mentality to keep going.
It's definitely that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like we played in Burlington, Vermont to like maybe 3 people, probably like twice. Now I don't think we're gonna go back there.
Yeah.
But like it's like we're scared too. We're like, okay, I don't know, I don't want to jinx it, but yeah. it's like that, and definitely the Beatles had it right. But we get by with a little help from our friends.
Nice.
What? How did you start like your fan base here? Like, how did it kind of snowball into where you are right now?
I think we just like releasing music and then like kind of just like connecting with the people around here and like trying to like meet people and just seeing who's around and that like understands the music we're making and stuff, which is really cool. That and I will say though, like we didn't even really grow here in Jacksonville as much as we did Gainesville at first too,
Yeah.
which is interesting. I guess Jacksonville is such a big city, and I know like we like reached out to Tim Hall to like play like venues and like Jackrabbit and stuff for years, and cold call like and just no response, and we're like, oh well, fuck it, we'll just play. Can I curse on here?
Yeah, you're totally cool. Yeah.
But we're gonna go play in Gainesville. But yeah, we didn't play in Jacksonville until like maybe a year and a half, 2 years after we're playing like club venues and like most everywhere else in Florida.
Jacksonville's a weird market, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Because it's like you gotta. I mean, I love Jacksonville. It's done a lot for my career, but just in general, I feel like it's kind of like the last place to hop on board with something in Florida.
Yeah, I think the biggest reason is that there are a lot of venues here, but there's also not a lot of venues. There's a lot of venues that are the same size.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what happens is that's like not appealing to outside regional or national acts that come through. They always skip over Jacksonville or they play Ponte Vedra.
Right.
So, I mean, I know I was never here when Freebird. I've heard of Freebird. I know that
wasn't
place
here
was
either.
legendary.
It was
but
amazing.
yeah, like that's all I've heard about that. And then it closed down. And but I've heard like that's where people used to go. And I think if Jacksonville had more of that, and I think that's trying to happen because I know the Underbelly just opened up.
Yeah,
again.
in the last year or so.
Yeah, and like there's other like
1904 music hall.
1904.
Shout out.
Yeah, and then Jackrabbits. Like those are all. I love those venues because we played them so many times, and I played them with like a million other bands as well, and they're sentimental. But I feel like to really like bring culture in with more music and more like inspiration is like getting those bigger venues back here, so then those bigger acts come, because you go to like Austin, you walk down the road, you see like 3 major acts playing the same night
Right.
on the same street.
Right. Yeah, we're missing like that good 800 cap room, like
Yeah.
800 to 1,000 cap. And we're missing not just one of them, but like a few of them. That's the thing. It's like that way you can have, because right now I think 1904 probably like caps it at like 500.
Yeah.
And I think Underbelly probably caps it around 6 or 7. And that's if they oversell it. But like there's nothing again until the Florida Theater, which is I think probably 1,200 or maybe a little bit more.
And I love the Florida Theater, but it's seated, so it has like a different
Vibe.
to
Yeah.
it.
It's
weird.
Like
Not weird, but like it's, I don't know, like you go to a show, you want people to stand up and like,
it's like energy,
get into
like
it,
being together. Because like seats are cool, but people like to sit.
Yeah.
It's
I like to sit,
it's
so
nice.
if there's seats, I'm gonna sit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And it's also just like there's still that gap from like that 600 cap room to a 1,200 cap room. There's a lot of bands that exist in between that can't really play a 500 cap rooms. It's not worth it for them, but also can't sell out a 1,200 cap room.
Yeah.
So they just skip the town
It's-
altogether.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. Because you would lose money.
Exactly.
If you can oversell 600, but you can't do 1,200. There are so many bands that are in that middle ground.
I think we're struggling with that. Is that
Yeah.
issue trying to play here? Because like we've played 1904, Jackrabbits, and more times I can count. But it's just now like ready to like keep moving up with the flow of things, and there's nothing in between until like Ponte Vedra or like Florida Theater
But you guys just played the Florida Theater recently, right?
opening. Yeah,
opening.
How was that show?
That was
Awesome.
fun. That was
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah.
Never
was
been in
crazy.
that place before. It's very
It's so like
historic.
ornate and
Yeah.
beautiful.
I still haven't ever been there before either.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
It's
What were you gonna say?
I saw Andrew Schultz there back in December, the comedian. He's
That's
fucking
cool.
amazing.
That's cool.
But yeah.
I think we need something like the Tabernacle here.
Yeah.
What's the cap on the Tabernacle? I wonder. I have no idea.
I think it's a pretty big room though. I think it's bigger than 800.
No, it is a huge room.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, is that bigger than the Florida Theater? You think?
I don't know. I actually don't even know what the cap at the Florida theaters. I'm just guessing
It's like
1,200.
1,200.
Okay.
I think it's
Right, yeah.
1,200 cap.
Okay.
My grandma actually saw Elvis there when she was young.
Really?
Yeah, she said I went back to my hometown and I got lunch with her, and she's like, the mayor of the town wouldn't let him dance.
Yeah.
At that time, like he was not allowed. You know, it was like controversial.
Yeah. They couldn't even show his hips on television
Yeah.
move. Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow him to dance.
Yeah.
And like it's crazy, but like, and it looks the same. So it's a cool place.
Yeah, totally.
I was way off.
How much is it?
2,600.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm pretty sure
2,600
Tabernacle is
At the
bigger.
Tab,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Florida.
Oh no,
Theater.
the Florida Theater. I don't know how much that is, but yeah.
No, that's what I thought. It was a lot bigger than 800. Yeah. We need something like, I don't know, just something in between. I don't know of any off the top of my head, but something in between
800.
that. But like a few of them though, like that way, like multiple acts can come through in one night.
Yeah.
You know, of different genres and do that kind of thing. You know,
Yeah.
that's. I think they're working on some stuff. I think Jacksonville will get there at some point.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
They're building an amphitheater down the street too.
but I think it's like 1,500 or something.
Yeah, it's too big.
Too big.
Yeah.
Guys, we're missing that 800 sweet spot.
We need,
Bring
yeah,
them
we need a
back.
Goldilocks situation here.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's a
1,900 cap.
If we at the Florida
It
Theater,
was
Yeah,
1900.
That's pretty large. Okay, so
Yeah.
guys, 800 to
Too big.
1,500. We're missing that. We're missing that
so
ballpark
I'll
right
just
there.
open a venue, call it Goldilocks.
Goldie, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Do it.
the perfect size.
Yeah.
I think there is a
That's
venue being
perfect.
made right now, though.
That's a great.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah. Taylor Neal brought it up, but I think it might be in that range. I think we'll have like a mezzanine too, so it could be like pretty like
Oh, that's-
modular with like how many.
That's kind of
That'd
cool.
be dope. Yeah. That's what we need here for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys are you guys have management, booking, and they kind of helped you get on some of these festivals you got coming up,
Yes.
like South
Yeah.
by and Bonnaroo, which congrats, by the way. That's
Thank you.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, we're very excited.
Yeah. Does that feel like you're leveling up, or do you feel like the grind is still kind of the same?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, definitely both.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like I know every single time we would get an offer from a festival, we would lose our minds, in a good way. Like it was really cool. So it's really cool to see that when that happens, and that's all thanks to like Caleb and Sam. Like they go and they, I guess like pitch us to them and
Spread the
give
good
us the
word.
numbers,
Right.
or give them the numbers, and then they come back with an offer. But it's really cool. But it's also like, all right, like next year, like let's do more festivals.
Totally.
Yeah, I think we just set attainable goals is like the biggest thing is like shooting for goals, but also like right at the cusp of attainable to like unrealistic. And yeah, just having an incredible team to support us.
So when did you start kind of developing your team? Like when did you become like not self-managed and not self-booked? And did you notice a huge increase in the kind of shows you were getting or attendance at your shows once you had representation?
Yeah, actually, so our first person we brought on, really, we've had like managers. We used to this place in Gainesville, not this place, sorry. UF has a club called Swamp Records, I think. Yeah, and we were on that for a while, and we had like managers from that. But the first like outside third party we got was Caleb, which is our booker, and from there on we started like, playing like more like rooms that we'd like see other bands play. So we're like, okay, that's cool. Like I recognize this. I've seen that before. Also like we did a few like support tours for like some bands for repeat in 2018. First time in Canada. That was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Played to like 10 people, but that was
Doesn't
also
matter.
the
Yeah, it's
Burlington
Canada.
place too. Yeah, well, I went to Canada, so it's cool. But yeah, and then like bringing on Sam Heekin for like management, like outside of like the seeing the product of things, I think for like actual workflow of how we handle things on like the band side has like also like it's been so much more like optimized, and like the way like we have like team film calls like Tuesdays, like it's a business.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
treat it like a business. Like there are moving parts that keep happening, and it's about like having like each of those team members kind of just carry on that role while also we supplement and carry the role too.
Sure. Now, how much of what they do is like kind of taking your lead, and how much of what you do is you taking their lead? Like, are you kind of directing the ship with them and they're just kind of working for what you guys want, or are they kind of bringing new and fresh ideas?
It's kind of both.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
We always meet if they have an idea or if we have an idea, we always meet, figure out the best option. We're like, all right. And it's basically like if the majority wants to do something, we do it. And it always kind of works that way. Unless they have something that's like, we need this.
Right.
Like, and we trust them like with everything.
Our
So
lives.
yeah, literally. So they'll come to us and be like, hey, we needed this and we got it. It's usually something to deal with the business side of things. And we'll be like, yeah, that makes total sense. You don't have to tell us about it. Because sometimes things come up like really fast and they can disappear really fast.
Right.
We do retain like in terms of like creative like control of like branding, music, and like any like decisions that are made are always like approved and like run by us. Especially,
you guys like those decisions, like the album art and like the merchandise. To kind of, you guys like being involved with that stuff?
Yeah.
That's
I think that's what helps keep that authenticity to like everything, because it's, you know, like while like it's other creators adding to this pot that we have created called Flipturn, it still like feels like, you know, characteristic of us and what we want to represent.
Yeah. I commend you guys for that. I fucking hate that shit. I literally, I was like, we're releasing a documentary that just documented the process of making our last album. And I was just like, Aaron or our drummer Aaron and then Billy here, I was just like, you guys handle all the merch shit, because I am just getting in the way. I can't make up my mind on what I want it to look like or like anything. So I'm just like, fuck it, I don't want to deal with it.
There is like the thing with like too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%.
And, like I will say, like when it comes down to the nitpicky things, I back off, because I know like Madeline's very good at that. Like she's very attentive to very small details that I could never pick up. And I know I'm confident that she will get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like where like,
no, like she's like, for me, she's like, I mean, she's like my final like say or like confirmation. I'm like, okay, like if you're cool with it, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
You know? But no, and we definitely have like different like personally different roles of like how we contribute to the decision making. Like I like thinking more like long term of like, and also like the handling of like keeping us on track. And like mid-year,
I do things. I
just show up and I play.
I show up. It's I like with the merchandise. I like approve. Like I'll be like, oh yeah, I really like that, or like vote for certain things. I do. I would say I'm pretty. I'm not hands off, but I am not as involved as like I would say Madeline or do you think Dylan? Yeah.
Dylan's here.
Yeah.
I say Dylan.
Yeah. But I would say like I'm there and I look at everything, but I also am like very confident that everyone else is much more confident in that stuff. I love like how can like I make the live show better in regards to like the tech of like the words and running a bunch of stuff at the same time or stuff like that. I think we all have like our strengths and our weaknesses, and like just like figuring out like who's very good at what, you know, really helps. And everyone's good at different things. So, and nobody really overlays, because then you have like problems when two people have very strong opinions about things that could go either way very well. You could butt heads, but we don't really have that issue, which is nice. So
no, that's awesome that people recognize the different strengths and weaknesses and knowing like where to step back and where to, for sure. That makes all the difference.
Who's running your social media accounts and all the footage and stuff that you're recording and stuff?
So like we're all like logged in. I don't think I've like made a caption or posted anything. I don't even do it on my own Instagram, but we do have like Amanda and Carla. They're two people, awesome, incredible people. Amanda films and takes our pictures, and I mean we shot a music video yesterday.
Yeah, was it yesterday?
I don't know.
It was 2 days ago.
2 days ago, and she shot it that same day and edited it down to the first draft same day.
It's
really?
Literally, she just sent us the draft.
An actual like
12 hours.
incredible like workhorse, amazing.
Do they go on tour with y'all?
Yeah,
Amanda does. Yeah,
that's what I was figuring, because you're all in all those. It's like, who's behind the camera?
Yeah, we definitely need someone to do that because we're not good at like Devin's pretty good at capturing things on his phone, but it's usually like cursed images. It's not anything like to put on social media.
Yeah,
but she will come with us, and I mean, she's an amazing photographer and videographer and editor. So
We didn't even know about the videography skills until like
Yeah.
we were like, what the hell, Amanda? This is amazing.
yeah,
That's
so-
awesome.
Yeah, shout out to her because I've been watching your all's Instagram, everything for years now, and there's one video that I really like a lot, one post, and it's just a montage of crazy things that you're doing like on the road, but there's very few moments where you're actually like on stage playing. A lot of it has to do with the rubber chicken. For
Yeah,
some
yeah,
reason.
it's
Yeah.
Tour Diaries.
What
Yeah,
is it called?
jalapeno,
What was it called?
jalapeno,
Jalapeno.
tour
Yeah.
chicken.
But I just thought that was hilarious. Like the just the way that it's edited and everything like that. It just looks like it's literally just the best parts of being on the road.
Yeah. What's your team look like when you guys go out? You have a tour manager. You have merch.
Usually
Yeah,
it's a double. Like, so I know for the last couple tours, we've our TM would double as like merch and stuff too, and also like just handling everything day-to-day stuff while we just kind of flounder around like fish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wait to
like,
play your
we
show.
play-
There's like, we're going to play a show, we'll sound check, and then I don't know, I'll have a beer or something.
Yeah. I
um,
mean, you can speak to the importance of having that kind of free time to kind of free your mind up a little bit.
mental
Oh, yeah.
break. So important.
Yeah. Because when we go on the road, like it's like we're setting up merch table, we're like running it after our set, we're like trying to make sure, or we'll try and find somebody in the city before we get there. But like the amount of stress, and then I do most of the tour managing, so all that shit. So it's like by the time I even get to the stage,
You're so stressed.
Yeah.
About everything else. You're
Exactly.
like, I wonder if anyone's stealing from our merch table.
oh
right
my
now.
god, I'm like just
Yeah.
sitting there looking at the merch table the whole show. just
Yeah,
like hoping.
yeah, and then it's like it's really nice, and we're all the band's like very grateful. People even decide to take a month and a half out of their lives to get into a van.
I'll never
with us.
understand it.
Yeah, they do that, and it's great because from the last tour, the last two tours, we've had Sam, who's our manager, tour manage. We've also had Taylor Neal, who's also from here, tour manage. He tour managed the last tour. We've also had Amanda do photography, and she did tour managing for like a 2-week run. And I think for the next time, like
We'll have Amanda.
we'll have
like,
Amanda, and I think Taylor as
Yeah,
well.
Taylor for like front of house, which that's going to be a huge upgrade. Just-
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, going to a venue and not knowing how it's going to sound that night is too much to deal with, man.
yeah,
Totally.
it's the last thing we have to like get rid of, so we have.
Are
a
there going to
tight
be keys
ship.
in front of house? Who knows?
Yeah,
Right.
Oh my, they always forget the keyboards. I don't know why It's always the keyboards.
Wait, well, you guys said stage plots and stuff and input lists. They don't remember any of that
They
stuff.
always put it on channel 33, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll put it over there. We'll turn that fader.
yeah. It's like that doesn't exist.
yeah.
Hey,
about?
Billy, that was a sound guy joke in case you were.
Sound person 2022.
2022,
How's
bud.
that
Come on.
feel?
Wow,
How's
bro.
that feel?
It's man, it's
Play
been
it yourself, Chris.
it's been a lot of long hours, man. I can't keep it straight.
Yeah,
anymore,
where's my
dude.
fucking drink tickets,
yeah,
bud?
yeah. Complain some more. What time do I go on? Leave me alone.
That was Billy's unpopular opinion last week was like, I'm tired of hearing about the sound guys, sound person's 16-hour a day work week. Shut up. Where are my drink tickets at?
pretty much butchered what I said.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's roundabout. Got
You
there.
can catch it on what is it, episode 4, season 4 on Bottom of the Bill.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
I'm going to.
I can't remember what number we're on now.
there.
76, 77, something like that.
What? Yeah. Have you guys noticed that when you're out and deal with sound guys or sound people? Sorry,
Thank you.
Who are who just like have to tell you why they're not doing their job smoothly
Yeah,
that
it's
day.
hilarious.
It's like yeah, we've just been sitting here twiddling our thumbs for this gig, right? Like, we haven't been doing shit all
Yeah.
week.
We didn't drive 4 hours and sleep on someone's fucking floor the night before.
Yeah.
But you've got a real rough. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Get paid, double overtime and a what do you even call it? I can't think of the word right now. Whatever. Union job. All right.
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. It's definitely hit or miss. Like sometimes you have the sound people and they're like amazing. Like the Masquerade in Atlanta, amazing sound people. Like every time. So the last time he was good.
Last time the guy
was
like
good.
starting our set and he was
And
having
then he
a
left.
cigarette.
But other
You
than
know how it
that,
goes.
the
Yeah.
Masquerade is great sound people. But there have been times where we've gotten there and they're always some of them are very interesting. Like, do you remember the guy that took our in-ears rack and resoldered?
He resoldered like 8 channels. It's the other thing too, like since we are like a little bit younger, is always like this like implication that we don't know what we're doing,
Right.
which is like I get, like honestly usually it's a pretty solid blanket statement, but like I mean if we're walking in there, we're giving you everything you need to know, like we probably have at least an idea what we're talking about.
I mean, if you just walk in and walking, having sent them a stage plot and input list,
Exactly.
that should be enough indication that you guys aren't
Yeah.
like amateurs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My favorite was like, oh, I never got it. I'm like,
It's like
bullshit. I saw
we
the advance.
Send it multiple times.
Yeah.
Like throughout like months in advance sometimes. Yeah, it's funny. Or like
We're
whenever
advancing like soon for
yeah,
fall.
we're gonna advance soon for literally the fall. It's months away. But my favorite is when we usually have a way. The way that we run currently is basically just give us XLR cords and give us mics, and we will literally plug everything in. You just plug our huge in-ear rack into your stage box, and that's it.
You just
And
gotta
then
mix.
go mix. And we will literally set everything else up because like that it's just we know how to do it really fast. But the issue is when they're like, no, I want to do it. And then all of a sudden it's like this 30-minute experience is now an hour and a half.
Right.
And like we are too nice to be like, no, we want to do it.
So we need a tour, like a. Well, sorry, you guys have a tour manager. That's where your
Yeah.
tour manager comes in. And is like, listen, that's not happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
ready. I'm ready to start this war against musicians and sound people.
It's been waiting.
Can we-
It's been burning
Cold War.
forever.
We have to recruit
it off
Eric
pretty
Kaufman on
well.
our side, though.
Oh yeah, he's 100% a traitor, filthy traitor. He can be on our team.
He'll be
for
on our
sure.
team. Shout out,
Everyone else, you're on notice.
shout out Eric Kaufman from Underbelly 1904.
Yeah,
You guys-
stallion.
Stallion.
That's great.
We took him. We've taken him on a couple road trips with us. And
Nice.
I know Greenhouse takes him pretty
Yeah,
much everywhere.
Greenhouse. I took him all the way out to New Orleans and back a couple weeks ago for Jazz Fest. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's actually the first time I saw you guys was at Halloween. You played right after us on the same stage.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
no
Wait,
way.
hold up.
Yeah.
You guys were amazing.
That was a memory.
Oh,
Yeah.
Literally,
Thank
like
you.
I think about that
Really?
all the time.
That was probably one of the best shows I've ever played in my life.
it was
a
like
lot of fun.
literally, my mind was blown away.
Guys.
That was like one of my favorite
And you
shows.
snubbed me on the text messages and
I-
in my house complimenting me. I don't know what to
That no, wait, okay. What part
What?
were you in that band?
Synth. I play piano. Yeah.
Oh my god, you
You
were
had
amazing.
no idea? This is a Casio tone. Obviously, that's what
Yeah.
everyone's synth right here.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude, like literally, like
Thanks, man.
insane. It was. Yeah, I was like, especially the synth. I was hoping you're the one playing that. That was.
Still got it, Tony. What's
Yeah.
You
up?
still got it.
I texted.
Steve.
Yeah, I know.
Steve Honig.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's great.
I
Bird.
texted Chris literally after the show.
You did.
I did. I texted Chris. I was like, "Who is this band? This is amazing."
Chris is never gonna
It's
let,
the
have,
boys.
let
What
Billy
up?
have that one.
Yeah.
Boys.
What up?
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
so
great.
much. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
of
Yeah, we
course.
just played in New Orleans for Jazz Fest on basically the side of the road kind of
Yes.
place.
Not for Jazz
It was-
Fest, right? It was
no.
happening at the same
But
time.
we told everybody it was.
That's yeah. It's like
That's awesome.
the
Yay!
classic.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that
You
I
were there. You were in the
Yeah.
radius.
that was a lot of fun though. We tour on a school bus. It's a lot of fun.
No,
That's
that's
really
cool.
Yeah, our singer,
I'm
he's
jealous.
got a what do you call it? A remodeled, not remodeled.
like a
Refurbished?
built out,
What's the word? Conversion. Yeah, he
conversion,
converted
there you
it.
Wait a minute.
And
We
Oh.
saw it. Was it at Halloween?
yeah,
We saw it. We're like, yeah, damn, we wish we had that.
there you go.
Oh, all right.
That's
What are you
it.
guys
Tell us
touring?
that.
Van?
Black
What is it?
Ford Transit.
Yeah.
It has
Okay.
15 passenger van.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
How it goes.
Those are solid,
The low
though.
roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are solid. I mean, we're touring that little GMC you see outside right there. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you don't want to tour in a school bus nowadays. It's 8 miles a gallon and diesel, so
Yeah, that's gonna
but it's really
that's gonna
roomy.
kill you.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's got cable and internet
Oh, that's kinda
and a
sick.
bathroom, and he's installing a shower right now. Daryl, if you're watching this, shout out. I just went over to his house to give him some new shoes, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so I want to get to bottom of the billboard.
Yeah.
Did Chris fill you guys in on this section?
Is this about
LAX.
LAX, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a song for those who don't know. Bottom of the billboard. We pick a song every week to review. Typically, Billy and I can't stand each other's style of music,
Nope.
so it's always a fun segment. But we both really like Wolfpack a lot, so
Yeah.
this is probably a bit of a boring
Yeah,
segment
it's kind
for
of
you
a
guys.
layup today. So, why do you like this song so much?
Well, I think that so LAX by Wolfpack, if you guys didn't catch that, I really love always the guitar work that Corey Wong does. Is just like
yeah.
it's so like subtle in the background, but the way it like kind of interplays with the keys in this song, it's very like I don't know. It's just I wouldn't have thought to like have that kind of rhythmic complementing. You know what I mean?
I really like the lyrics.
Lyrics are hilarious.
They're-
Very
I
tongue in
just
cheek.
love
They're
it
so
so much.
funny.
And actually, it was my story I was going to tell you is I think that album came out like right during COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
Or, like,
2020.
Right before.
Yeah.
And I was just dating Carrie, my girlfriend, and we'd only been together for like a couple of months. So I was like, I'm in love with this girl. 100%, but I hadn't said it yet. And there's that song, I love my baby. And we'd be cooking, and I would be like,
Can't say that part.
I'm not
Can't
saying
say
it.
it yet.
And she was like staring at me like, what's going on?
Is Antoine Stanley sing that one? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know who sings it.
Yeah.
I thought it was the guy. Is that the guy who sings 1612?
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like him.
Yeah, it does.
But it could be somebody else. But yeah, I love that song.
And Joe
The whole
Dart
album is
fucking
amazing.
crushes
Oh,
the
yeah.
bass
Yeah,
on that. It's so
Joe
nasty.
Dart's 100% the best part of that band.
No,
Dude,
Corey
it's true.
Wong's pretty dope, and Jack Stratton is just a marketing genius.
Yeah.
He does
Yeah.
like, I mean, he's a decent player, but he's an amazing producer. That's where he shines, I think. And have you ever been to Wolfpack's website?
No.
It's just
no, yeah, I have.
it's
like,
just
a couple times.
HTML code.
No, are you
I
serious?
swear to God. Yeah,
That's, wait, yeah, pull it up. Honestly.
yeah. Here.
Joey Dosick.
Oh, Joey, isn't he
Oh
a
yeah,
sax
Joey
player?
Dosick. That's right. His name's on the song. I forgot.
My bad.
Yeah. Pull up Wolfpack.com real quick. Their website. It is just HTML
Is
code.
that's your favorite song off the record?
It's one of them. Yeah.
I don't think it's my favorite song. I do love that song a lot though. I can't remember the names of them.
It's just that's their website.
That's hilarious.
pretty good.
I thought that I went to go visit it one time just to kind of see what they were doing and just get some ideas. And I was like, it has to be down or it has to be a joke.
Yeah.
It's not. This has been it for like years now.
That's hilarious. Oh my, wow.
it's so
It's
so
just
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their merch store is like laughable, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
they don't sell anything.
Yeah. It's just
They sell bass guitars and that's it.
yeah.
Oh, the Joe Dart.
Joe Dart,
Yeah,
the Joe
yeah.
Dart bass.
I love their videos on Instagram.
The new
about
one
that.
has no knobs.
Yeah.
It was getting in the way. I can't remember what Jack Stratton
Yeah.
said. Anyways, yeah, 100% gets on the playlist.
Well-
Finally, we got Volpec on there.
Well, we didn't even get their opinions on it yet.
cares?
Who cares?
They said their deal about me. I'm fucking amazing. The guy said it's the best show he's ever seen.
That's why we don't tell Billy nice things because that's how
Yeah,
he
it got
acts.
to his head. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes to my already enormous head. So.
Yeah. What did you guys think of this song?
It's cool. It gives
Yeah.
me like city pop vibes.
City
like very
pop.
like 80s Japanese city pop. Like,
Yeah. Okay. I could definitely hear that.
It was funky. That's. I mean, I love Wolfpack. I actually didn't know that song though.
Same.
I never know who's playing in the songs because they switch things out.
Yeah,
So
totally.
much. I was like, because they have had. I feel like they've had songs where it sounded like Corey Wong was playing, and I looked it up and he wasn't there.
Yeah.
I was like, so I was trying to figure out. I was like, is Corey Wong playing this right now? Is that obviously? It was.
I mean, I haven't looked it up, but I listened to like a shit ton of Corey Wong.
yeah, you can hear the tone.
Yeah,
It's
there's like a tone and like an attack and approach that he has. Like Theo Katzman does a really good job of kind of picking that up from time to time, but and Theo Katzman has like impeccable timing also.
Yeah.
But Corey Wong has this kind of just
you hear it.
yeah.
Like,
There's,
yeah.
there's a thing that's going on there, you know.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It was great. It's like the classic like syncopate. Like it's so like crunchy. Like all their songs, and not in like in a sound way, but like
Percussive.
everything is so divided, but also together.
Yeah.
you know,
Totally.
It was a great song. I liked it,
Hell yeah.
and the lyrics were they're funny.
Yeah,
catchy.
all their songs so tongue in cheeky. It's so funny.
Yeah,
Also,
Corey
fuck
Wong
LAX
guitar.
too.
Corey Wong's
Yeah,
everywhere.
for sure. Fuck
he was
LAX.
playing it.
Yeah, he's it's funny because he wasn't even like an original member of
No.
Wolfpack,
Yeah.
and now he's kind of like their signature sound. I feel like him and Joe Dart, obviously.
Yeah,
You know,
It's like
Yeah.
the Starbucks of musicians.
Corey Wong
He's
is.
everywhere.
Yeah, but he's not like just basic as fuck.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
the Amazon of.
No, there's a
musicians.
better thing. He's a little bit more like.
Also, I like
niche
to
than
add
that.
my favorite track on that album. I remember now is the Beatles cover at the end. That's that album, right?
The Beatles cover at the end.
The live take of Something in the Way She Moves.
No,
That's not that.
no,
On that album?
I don't think it's off
Are you
that
sure?
album. No, but
Can
but
you check to see if that's on there?
No, that's the album
Thank
where
you.
they eBayed their like the last 2.5 minutes.
That's that album.
It is.
Yes, that last song that's on there blows.
Yeah.
it's so bad.
You guys
but
know about
whatever.
that?
if you pay
I
enough
gotta-
money,
I
you
gotta
can be
listen.
on a Vulpec album.
They sold the last 2.5 minutes of the album to just anybody, the highest bidder on eBay.
Wait, seriously?
They sold it
Yeah.
for like, I think it was like 40 grand they sold it for.
No way.
Yeah.
And someone made a song and just
Yep.
put it on
Put
the
it
album.
on the album, yeah. And
And-
it's
All right, I gotta
not
listen to
good.
It's not.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just it doesn't fit at
But
all.
bro, that paid for their album though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
True.
that's such a funny way to do it too.
That's
really
what I'm
smart.
saying. Jack Stratton's a fucking
It is.
genius.
It is
Yeah.
hilarious, but like I love that album so much, and I think it is that it's the something. Yeah, I was right.
Off
It's
and
the
Away?
last. It's the second to last one.
Oh, second to last one.
Oh, and then they
Oh, yeah,
do an
something.
instrumental of Santa Baby, which is amazing.
Yeah,
I didn't even know
that's-
it was Santa Baby for the longest time.
Yeah,
and I was
that's
like, Christmas was
hilarious.
coming around, and I'm like, oh, that's what they're playing.
Yeah.
Free on E's a great one. I like that even better than.
I like the intro to
the
this album
test
too.
drive. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all really good. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
pretty dope.
Yeah,
That's great.
Vulpec's great.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah,
All right, so the song makes a list. All right,
sometimes we do agree on things.
Wolfpack is like the
Look
one
at
thing
that.
that we agree on.
Yeah.
Everything else, is just we don't. We have we did Tool one week on Bottom of the Billboard, and I'm a big Tool fan. Specifically, the 10,000 Days record. That one just got me. So there's an album called a song called Right In 2 off that
Yeah.
album. It's really good, and so. I did my review on it, and then Billy does his, and we clip out the review section on YouTube, and we put them up. And I shit you not, in one day, got like over 700 views because that's how crazy Tool fans are.
Oh yeah.
And they just shat on Billy
No,
for like 10 minutes.
dude,
Just
it's
all
like-
the comments are that guy is contrived. Fuck you. It's all this like really funny shit, bro.
It's like going after like K-pop. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
can't-
you can't. I didn't go after K-pop.
Yeah. But you know
I
what?
didn't do-
Those are the videos that get like the biggest views though. So we're just
Yeah.
gonna continue doing really niche bands like that.
Yeah.
Dave Matthews, we did a Dave Matthews
Oh,
one
they'll
that
come
got
after you.
those fans are fucking brutal too, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Apparently, because I was looking it up, because I was thinking like, how can we piss off more people to get more famous? And so, the number like the top 5, you don't fuck with Grateful Dead fans.
Yeah. So when's the
Number
Grateful Dead
2,
song
I couldn't
coming?
believe it is Radiohead.
Yeah, Radiohead's another really
and
niche
that kinda
one.
makes
I couldn't
sense.
believe like the fans are that way the same, but like the number 9 was Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine if we do a Radiohead song.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just not a big Radiohead
That's
fan.
probably what I'll do is I'll be like, yeah, Creep's the best Radiohead song.
There it
God,
is.
you're
gonna do that.
That's all you gotta say.
You're gonna get all the radio. Yeah, exactly. They're gonna shit on you for that one.
I don't care. Bring it on.
Yeah.
I just get stronger every time you say something.
Yeah.
You might-
They
you-
can't even come up with good comebacks.
Some of them are pretty funny.
the guy in the rainbow shirt really needs to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
They always go after the person too. It's
Yeah.
never the music taste.
No,
It just
because
goes
they've got no leg
directly
to
for
stand
you.
on.
Yeah.
But also, Billy said that he liked the song. That was the
Yeah,
funny
I
part.
did.
He had a couple of hang-ups, but they only
my-
focused on that. Nobody focused on the part where he's like, "But I like the song."
That's great.
I actually had to go on there and like comment. I was like, "Guys, he likes the song."
And
Yeah.
don't you ever do that again.
I'm sorry. Try to come to my
Never
friend's
defend
defense.
me.
My bad. I'm
Never
such an
defend
asshole.
me.
Oh my god.
Never defend it.
Now, I will
defend
for sure
myself.
never defend you again. That's for
Thank
sure.
you.
All right. So, anyways, we move on
Yeah.
beyond Bottom of the Billboard now. I want to get to the music stuff because the business stuff is all fine and dandy, but most people don't give a fuck about that. So
We
yes.
do though. It's interesting to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the music. What's the writing process like for you guys? Is it very collaborative, or people bring songs to the table? How's it work?
It's actually super collaborative.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll kind of just bring like just a bit of an idea, and then like we'll just sit down and be like, all right, like, what is this? What the fuck is this? So we'll all play through it and like kind of figure out like structure, and like we always figure out most of the structure before we have lyrics or anything, but like we'll have like a full song idea, and then like Dylan will do like that kind of like that thing where he'll sing the melody, but like it's like not words.
Watermelon.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. But like, and it'll like go from like there, you know, like because he'll like there. It's like meaning that balancing like lyricism and like melody too. So
Sure.
like it'll like further refine itself. But yeah, it's a very like jam, almost like jam like process, which is pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I for sure wouldn't have gotten that from the music. It seems very like orchestrated and like
By the end of it,
It
does
does
get
come that way.
orchestrated, and we'll like deviate from it live. Never in like a jam band sense, but more just like, oh, we'll go off and do something different here. But like when we're playing, we'll loop the same thing and like just like literally just play whatever over it and be like, oh, that sounds cool. Let's go back and let's start with that. And then we'll get like a point to where something feels like somewhat like something, and then we'll either like stop and be like, all right, let's like sit on it, like record it, sit on it, listen to it like at night when we're not playing, and then you hear ideas and you come back the next day and you're like, let's try this over it, or like, yeah, stuff like that. It's very collaborative. But it always like idea, like someone like Tristan will come up with a guitar lick, and then you'll just like you'll play that
Yeah, I'll just
over
like
and
loop it
over.
or whatever. I'm like, all right, just
Sometimes with a loop
play some.
pedal.
yeah. I'll hit loop pedal. I'm like, all right, here it is. Like,
Yeah, and then we'll just play over that. Like a song that just came out, Brooklyn Baby. That was actually, we worked on that 2 years ago, and then we dropped it, and then we literally trashed the entire thing, and then like a week before, or not a week, in December, and we recorded in January, but in December we were like, Tristan played it again, and we made a song with it in like literally 10 minutes. Like,
Really?
yeah, we played through. We're like, yeah, that's it. That's the song.
that doesn't normally happen, but it was really cool. It was like that idea in the beginning, like completely, we were in a complete different area of our lives, and then we 2 years later tried it again, and like it clicked
It's
instantly.
worked, yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool. It's always collaborative. That's about it. Yeah.
That's awesome. And curious as to like, are you guys working like with a producer or anything when you're in the studio?
We did
Yes.
this last record. Yeah,
Okay.
we worked with a guy named John Gilbert out in LA, and he's done a bunch of stuff under his belt. But he did like the last Mountain Joy record, which is what really, not the last one, but their first one. And it's what kind of really enticed us, is because it has a very like live band feel, and we're very like live oriented. Like our live shows is like what we pride ourselves on mostly, and so we're like, hey, we have to capture the energy we have like playing these songs into recording, because that's something we've always struggled with every recording we've ever had like, previously to this record. Like, hey, like these sound good, but it doesn't have like that thing that makes them
Right.
feel good.
So I'm curious about that's an interesting perspective, because like, do you want the experience to be pretty similar listening to the record as it is live?
Yeah, or like to have that. You want John actually when he talked to us like the first time, it was like creating a space where the album lives in, and that space being like a live space. And yeah, making it turn, because I feel like our strongest suit as right now is like our live show. Like people love the live show because high energy. So it's like, well, we want that in the recording because it's so nice to like play it live. It's like, why don't we have that same type of feel? But it's still like produced,
Right.
you know, but it has a space. Like you can feel like the room, you can feel that we're playing off of each
I see what
other.
you're saying. Yeah, for sure. And did you guys record it out in LA too, or did you just okay? And what role did John, you said?
Yeah.
What role did he play in the production side of it?
I think that, like the biggest thing was like, you know, the source, because like a previous stuff we worked on was we would like try to capture what we're playing and then fix it like with mixing, production, and we're like, yeah, we'll just do this after. And then John was like eagle eye, like he knew exactly what we need to do. Like we're recorded this way, we're gonna do the mic this far away from the amp, you know, we're gonna record the vocals this way with this microphone. It's a whole detailed list to like, it was just very well put together,
Yeah.
like how the approach was, and it was just all about like capturing like the correct tones.
Yeah,
and
tones
everything.
are everything, I think.
Yeah,
Literally is.
that and just like it was like about capturing. And I think the biggest thing too, outside of like the tones, really was he made us feel comfortable and good.
Yeah.
When we
Yeah.
recorded and played, because it's such a like a. When you go to the studio, especially like if it's an hourly studio, you're like, all right, this is the engineer. You're gonna go in here, you're gonna record the song, and then you're gonna tell them if you feel good about it.
Right.
And usually you're like, all right, I guess I feel good about it. Cool. This is the done thing. But John's like, he'll like, you know, give us like all the pump up we need to feel good about recording, you know, because it's like, it's vulnerable to record something. Like even it's like vocals, like playing drums, like it's a part of you. So like you have to open up and feel vulnerable when you play.
Yeah, totally. And it's also just like realizing that stress of being under that auditory microscope, you know, where it's like you hear every little thing.
Every detail.
And like you're saying, it's very vulnerable as a player because you might think that you're capable of like one thing, but then hear yourself back in that kind of element and you're like, oh, I'm not capable of like a fraction of what I thought I was capable of. And that's very humanizing or it can be demoralizing when it's like your first time doing it or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really can be, yeah.
And it's a big difference, I think, between like an engineer and a producer. An engineer is just going to sit there and let you live with that and not really care one way or the other.
Like I'm getting paid, like I
still get a big
we
check.
have to take. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like John would be like, do it again.
Right.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Because he had an ear for something that would work and something for that wouldn't.
Yeah,
so
and
it's
he
like
knew what we wanted out of the songs, like
Yeah.
because we like even like our demo process like for this record was so very like intensive. Like we probably had like 5 demos of each song at least, like through like voice memos to like actual like multi-track, to, like, you know, because we just want to like we're figuring it out. But yeah, and John just kind of got what we're going for.
And why did you guys decide to go out to LA to record it? Why don't you do something local here?
I think it was because John.
Yeah,
it was literally because
spaces
John.
we're going to.
Okay.
Yeah, he picked out. He was like, "Let's go here. This is a great room for live capture for drums, and then let's go here. We're gonna put you in everyone in the same room because these few songs are more like rock based. So let's have that like the amps be in the same room for the song, or like we're gonna go here for overdubs." And there's like different studios. It was like 3 studios total.
Yeah. Not including his.
Yeah, not including his studios. So because that was his place was awesome too.
Yeah.
Like great isolation booth. But yeah, he just chose the places, and we wanted to work with him, which means we had to fly out. And he knew the spaces there. Then he probably wouldn't know anything in Florida.
Of course, sure.
Yeah, we have to like search out like there's like what is that place in Gainesville? It's called like
Is it
P. That's one of the cool studios.
Oh, it's a place that Honeyhounds recorded at, I think.
The one with the pool?
No, that's in Elkton.
My
That's
bad.
NFS.
Oh yeah.
like Pace or something like that.
I think it is Pace.
Pace.
Or
Studios. It was
could
really
be.
cool though. Those are nice rooms.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, that's this band Honeyhounds. Are you guys familiar with them?
Yeah.
I think they record. I could be wrong about this, but I know they record at a studio in Gainesville. And given the level of stuff they're doing now, I would imagine that it was probably one of the nicer ones there. But so it could be that place. So that leads me to my next question. Then, do you guys have label support?
We do not currently.
Not currently.
Yeah,
So it's
we're
all
independent.
self-funded. You're just doing it. Wow.
Yeah,
That's-
it's every dollar we put in, we get out.
Yeah.
So you bought the plane tickets, you went out there, you paid for the studio time,
Yeah.
paid for John, all that shit out of
Yeah.
here. That's amazing. Congratulations. That's
Thank
you.
really awesome
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
for sure. Yeah, that's awesome, man. So I'm curious as to where you guys are drawing like inspiration from musically and lyrically, collectively, and like does that differ at all from what you guys listen to like on your own time?
Absolutely.
Totally. Yeah. I guess like lyrically, this is definitely a more Dylan
That's a
oriented
Dylan-
question,
that's
but
a
I
big
will
Dylan
answer for
question.
him, Damien Rice.
Okay.
I know the answer for him.
He does say
100
that. He says that
times.
every time.
It's always Damien Rice.
Damien Rice, okay.
full,
Wow.
Storyteller, lyrics.
Yeah, very much more like this about the story being told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does that Blower's Daughter song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that song.
That's like back then. That's like when I was in middle school.
Yeah, I
type
know, me
shit.
too. But it's like the saddest song in the world until the very end. It's like, until I find somebody new. And you're like, oh, you ruined it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
That is probably the saddest songwriter on the planet, I would say.
Ooh,
Not in a bad sense.
Elliott Smith is old.
I was about to say, I'll
Yeah.
introduce you to Elliott Smith. He's the
Sorry.
saddest fucking person on the planet. Or was. Rest in peace.
And I'm
Yeah.
100%. Okay, maybe. All right. 100% murdered.
Okay, here we go. So the one conspiracy that Billy will believe in.
No, I just think it's a little awkward when you stab yourself in the heart twice.
Twice.
Yep.
I didn't even do that.
While his girlfriend was in the shower.
Yeah. Okay.
And he like one of the most like prolific writers of our generation, and then just wrote on a post-it note saying sorry.
Yeah, man. Well, maybe he spent all of his
Not.
stuff on
Don't
his
believe
music
it.
and just got a little lazy at the end there. He was checked out.
He's like, I'm
Obviously.
leaving.
Nah.
I don't know shit about the case, so I don't
No,
know.
you
but-
don't.
Yeah. Look at-
It's still open.
It's
And
still open?
It's not closed. No.
Oh, okay. So maybe it wasn't a suicide.
Yeah.
And what about you? What about you guys? Where do you draw your inspiration from
I guess
collectively?
Collectively, what would you say collectively?
Collectively, I feel like I don't know. It's not. It's weird. I don't think we're ever like. We never sit down with a song. We're like, let's listen. We've been listening to a lot of this, so let's like make something like this. Because we never directly get inspired by something because we're so scared of sounding like the thing that we're inspired by.
Sure.
So we never actually. I think it's like an unspoken rule that we don't talk about what song sounds like.
It is a very like we don't talk about it and like
Unless it's bad.
because it's like it's the thing like once you acknowledge it, it becomes that.
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
because then you're like just thinking of it. It's like, oh, that sounds like Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's like, oh shit.
Fuck. Songs
Like,
ruined.
now it's gonna
If we ever
sound
did
like,
that though, please kill us.
yeah. it's like we can't sound like another band. So we don't usually like we have our own inspirations and we bring them to the table without telling anyone about our inspirations.
Yeah, it's like we have our cards, you know.
So
Yeah.
does that not put any kind of like weird like reverse pressure on it where it's like don't talk about what it sounds like, don't talk about what it sounds like. Then it's all of a sudden like it sounds like something but you can't say it.
So
If it does
if it
happen.
does, then we're like, this sounds like this. Let's
Then we cut
not
it.
do it, and then we cut it,
Okay.
or like we take the idea back. We like
Yeah.
like Control Z. So
Exactly.
it's like
Um,
unspoken rule unless it's very prevalent. So
Yeah, it definitely is. I think a lot of our sound is like because of how diverse, like music, or it's mediumly diverse our music tastes are.
What do you
like-
guys listen to on your own?
I guess for me, like in terms of like actual like, songwriting, Adrienne Linker, like from Big Thief, she's like very in the much vein of like Elliott Smith, but like
Okay.
it's incredible songwriter.
Are you okay?
Sometimes, right?
that's the question,
Right? Yeah. No, she's amazing, and she writes some like the coolest stuff that I've heard ever. Like I wasn't really big much of like the songwriter style of like music, and then I heard her, I was like, holy shit, I've been missing out. And I've been getting more to like, of course, like Elliott Smith and like whatnot, but yeah, that. What about you, Mitch?
I bounce around a lot, just because it's more like I listen to things because like I want to learn them.
Right.
So it's like right now I'm listening to, this is gonna sound weird, I'm listening to a lot of like old country like guitarists specifically.
Yeah.
So it's like that's currently what I'm listening to, but I always go back to like soul, like groove based music, something that like like has like a backbeat to it and someone's singing, or like I don't know,
I'm listening to Nujabes
like
recently.
Al Green or who?
Nujabes. It's like the Japanese like producer. I don't know how to say that name.
Oh, I know what
It's,
you're talking about. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
the song
yeah.
Feather. You've heard it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like the what people say, like the J Dilla of the East. Or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, like Al Green, or I can't think of any names right now. I keep saying Al Green.
I feel
George
you though.
Benson.
It's
George Benson. I love George Benson.
Yeah.
Like I love jazz. Pat Martino. Because that's like kind of like I grew up with that, or like, but then like when I was a kid, I loved like Eddie Van Halen. Like everyone as a kid did.
I was never a big fan.
You're never a big
you're a
fan.
nerd,
Just the
bro.
guitarist.
I mean, like
Even like band aside, like when he played Michael Jackson, I love Michael Jackson. Like when he went and played on Beat It,
yeah.
love that. That's another Michael Jackson in general. Like that's one of my favorite inspirations. Like from every single instrument that is played on his tracks, it's like insane.
Totally.
You can learn from anything and apply it to any other instrument.
100%.
And like the groove, like learning timing, and like Stevie Wonder
Yeah.
timing.
100%. Even just
that's-
arrangement ideas, Stevie
Yeah.
Wonder's, I mean, like melodies, like everything with Stevie Wonder is just like listening to any one of his albums is just a masterclass in songwriting.
Yeah, you can dive into it for like months.
Yeah.
Literally months, and you probably not even break the surface. You go one little tangent of it. It's like
Yeah, for
trying
sure.
to see someone's mind and how it works. But yeah, it bounces around. But I always go back to that. Like anything with
Groove
a
is
groove.
everything.
100%, man. What as far as country guitarists who you listening to?
Johnny Highland.
Oh fuck
Yeah, I've been learning his solos a lot.
Good for you.
And they're ripping my fingers apart.
Yeah.
Like literally, like I didn't do it today, but like I've never gotten to the point where like I had to like put my guitar down. I was like, I can't play anymore today. It literally hurts.
It hurts, yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's why I've been listening to like Brent Mason. But
Yeah.
Brent Mason
yeah.
is a little bit harder because it's like he doesn't use a pick, so it's like transferring that over into like I don't have like the claw type of playing. So.
Right. And he was kind of like before Johnny Highland too, so it's like a
Yeah.
whole different kind of like, it's more traditional, I feel like.
Yeah, it's great. So those are the two. Johnny Highland though is like I'm just really focusing on him.
With some Vince
Is-
Gill,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
where you go like way back to some Danny Gatton shit.
Yeah.
Danny Gatton's a fucking animal.
Yeah.
Was. Sorry.
There's some great YouTube videos of like Vince Gill and Brent Mason, or like they're like the players, like the old Nashville bands. Like,
yeah.
they're great. So and it's just like it's a lot of like harmony in it that you don't realize. Like there's a lot of stuff that you can see in like jazz, and
Oh yeah.
but it's just applied differently and it more technical on the right hand, I feel like, than that's not true. There's things that they're both equally hard. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
they're
I find it
different,
more
though.
interesting to learn. But I like jazz to learn like harmony and stuff. So
Totally.
bounce it around. That's a long question, a long answer to your question. But
No, that's all good.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot, especially like that kind of Midwestern swing stuff.
Yeah.
where
Oh, yeah.
There's this kind of jazz harmony happening, but just like the country phrasing.
Yeah, it's
And that's
great.
what I think is so cool.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I listened to a lot of stuff for a long time. I need to get back into practicing just in general, but like the country stuff
Yeah.
is just so good for your chops. You know?
Yeah.
I like Hank Garland is.
Yeah.
Hank Garland.
I love
fuck
Hank Garland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I transcribed most of Sugarfoot Rag a long time ago.
Nice.
And then I couldn't get it up to 100% speed though.
You can. It's so hard to pick it up. Like you can. I've hit 90% speed
Yeah.
on things, and you get that last 10%. It's like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is going on? Like, it's insane. Like,
And you know what's crazy about those country guys too is like when you slow it down to like,
it's so exact. Is that what
yeah,
everybody's talking about?
well more, yeah, it's so exact, but like not even just like the notes that they're playing, but rhythmically, it's like you're hearing all this stuff that's actually swung that you didn't
Yes.
know was swung,
Yes.
and you're like, that's why I can't play it because it's swung,
Yeah.
but it's so subtle, you know.
Yeah, it's like the smallest. That's what I remember. I was listening to someone talk about that genre, and they're like, when you slow it down, they're just as good.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of like shredders. I mean, granted, shredders are also phenomenal, but like sometimes you listen to it, and when you slow it down, it's like I can't really hear like the individual notes. Well, granted, because they're using like high distortion
Sure.
and everything, but I don't know, like being able to hear it slow down is like so precise and like exactly what they want it. It's like, how do you even do that?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Totally.
So crazy.
That's why I respect guys like Pat Martino and George
Yeah.
Benson also, although
yeah.
I can't really stand like their style though. Like not so much George Benson because
Pat Martino.
I just, bro, I get it. It's like
Austin.
you can play the changes.
I know. No, it gets. I can't listen to him for a long period of time.
Yeah.
I know people that will fight me on saying. I know
Chris is one of them for sure.
Yeah,
No, I'm reformed.
You're a reformed Pat Martino guy.
I feel like everyone
Oh my
goes
God.
through a Pat Martino phase. Though,
I used to be a sax player, so I hated Pat Martino because
Oh.
I can't play those lines; they're too long.
Yeah.
You gotta breathe.
You
You
gotta
gotta
breathe.
hypoxia.
That fucking that solo that he takes on Sunny with him and John Schofield.
Yes. Yeah. And John Schofield was like playing entirely different too.
Oh
It's
my!
like, yeah.
His solo was fucking flawless, even
Yeah.
though it wasn't, but in the perfect way, you know. And it's so musical, even though he was stepping out, you know,
Yeah.
like harmonically, you could still like sing that solo.
Yeah.
But Pat Martino, you're just like, bro, just give me like a set. I'm a listener. I feel like I can't breathe.
Yeah, no.
You know?
I went to transcribe that, and I kind of stopped because it was kind of, it wasn't boring, but it was like my mind was like, there's just note. And when you slow it down, like I was zoning out more than I could focus
Yeah.
because there were so many notes. And I think that's more of my flaw of not being able to concentrate on it. Cause I know like there's people that'd be like, oh, I learned that easily. But yeah, it's just all in your face all
I
the
think
time.
you
Yeah.
need the space though. Like I
Yeah,
think the most
phrasing.
important advice I ever got was like to breathe while I play.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like it's like if you sing, you breathe. So play like you sing.
100%. Yeah. And so you're the guitar player in Flipturn. Where do you draw? I mean, like, who are some of the guitar players that you grew up with?
I when I was a kid, I was a huge Metallica fan.
Okay.
Funnily enough, yeah. I learned like all of like the Black album.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I kind of like stopped playing guitar. Like I hated it. Like I did classical guitar and stuff like that, and
That's why you
I was
hated
like, no, I hate this. But I did saxophone for a while, so like it was much more like lead line style stuff. Then moving back to guitar, I carried over that lead line style of playing, and then went to UNF, learned how to play chords to that, and all uphill from there. But in terms of like players, I don't know. It kind of changes. I don't know. I feel like I hate every other guitar player. It's like a weird thing. I'm always like my guitar, but I'm always like, wow. I don't know if it's like a jealous, because I'm not really a chops player.
No.
It's not really a jealousy thing. I'm not a chops player at all.
Well,
But
no, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. I have.
No, I mean I can kind of relate to that. There's not a lot of guitar players that like stick out to me all like as far as
Eddie Van
people.
Halen.
Just because
Don't need to go any further. And also rest in peace. Sorry.
yeah, I mean if you're into the shredder thing, that's fine. I can respect
If
him.
you're into like rocking and emotion,
Yeah, I don't get
Look
the
no
emotion
further.
side part from him. I get more of the shredding and technical side from him.
crushes it.
Yeah, he's was an amazing player,
Yeah,
no doubt
rest in
about
peace
that.
again.
I just didn't. It never hit me. You know what I mean?
Who would have thought he'd last this long either?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it
He
was,
he died 2
He-
years ago.
yeah.
But there,
Both
I think
agree.
that like the guitar has been explored so virtuosically over the last like 50 years.
Hard to get anything new.
Exactly, and not to say there's not guys out there that are doing it, or sorry, people that are out there doing it, but because there's guitar players I can name like right now that I think are just amazing, right? But I feel what you're saying, that it's like not like there's other instruments that I would listen to more and be like more impressed by. You know?
Yeah.
I think I've been like for personally, I've been trying to find new ways to approach guitar, especially like. I mean, it's probably every guitarist gonna say that same exact thing, but like I don't know, it just gets boring hearing the same shit.
Yeah.
You know?
What's
Totally.
the dude's name from Kung Fu? I always forget his name.
Oh, Tim Palmieri.
That guy's he's
I
my
mean,
favorite.
he's-
he's probably my favorite.
He's amazing. Yeah.
He's on my wall. I forgot.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Have you guys ever listened to Kung Fu before?
I have never.
No.
Actually, I'm
No.
gonna
Oh
have to
my
listen
God.
to
We
that.
opened
It's
for them one
ridiculous.
time and it was fucking. I remember just like I went up to them afterwards and I was like, I don't like do this, but like I'm a huge fan.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
you got to if like you see someone that you just love, you know.
Yeah.
Like
He does all this weird like I mean he like definitely a jazz fusion guy, but also came up with like Eddie Van Halen and stuff. So he's
That's
got like
cool.
the rock shredding stuff, but then can
Ridiculous.
also play like any like just
Yeah, he'll do like crazy jazz funk stuff and then do Cult of Personality the next song.
Yeah.
just,
That's
like
kinda
just
cool.
destroy
Yeah,
the
it's-
whole solo.
all the
It's
way around.
amazing.
it's wild. But yeah, I mean, you know, Van Halen was never like my thing.
I feel like it was definitely a hit or miss, like with people.
Totally. Yeah.
For sure. And as far as like, yeah, but I get what you're saying, like the guitar stuff, like unless it's like guys like there's like Julian Lage, right? Like he's
Oh,
amazing.
love
Yeah,
Julian
yeah.
Lage.
And like Derek Trucks, obviously.
Yeah.
just, you know.
I will say probably Derek.
Derek Trucks
Yeah.
I've been a
is
lot of slide.
phenomenal.
Yeah, there's people that have a unique approach, like they like actually Jeremy and I got into this conversation the other night. Shout out to Jeremy for filling in for Gene today.
Yay, Jeremy.
But we got into this conversation the other night where it was like there's a lot of most things, or he would argue that all things are quantifiable when it comes to music, but like there's some people that approach something a certain way that we can't really explain why it hits you in that way. And that's like artistry. I think that's what we call like artistry. And I think that certain players have that thing where it's like guys like Julian Lage and Derek Trucks, like granted they're not like they're not reinventing the wheel, but there's something that happens when they play.
Yeah, it's like their language.
Yeah,
you know?
it hits you a certain way that like somebody else playing the same exact lick could play.
It
and
doesn't
just
hit the same.
Doesn't do it, you know.
Right.
Yeah, or
Larry
you
Carlton,
just-
another guy
yeah.
like that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's definitely been like a strive thing for me. It's just like if I can't play fast, I'm gonna figure out a way to play my way.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, like the like timing and feel and all that stuff, like that. Like again, like someone like Larry Carlton, like you'll hear moments where like he does like shred and take his liberties, but most of the time he's just kind of like laying back.
Yeah, he's grooving.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I love rhythm, you know, like anything like rhythm guitar or rhythm anything. It doesn't have to be guitar. Actually, there's more cool things happening on a keyboard with rhythm than there is guitar, I feel like. But yeah, like Hanging Back for sure. There's a lot to like get from there. A lot of people just talk about the lines,
Yeah.
but there's so much more. And also, I feel like too many people think too hard about the lines and don't think about the rhythm.
Yeah.
Because like for Flipturn, like there's guitar solos and stuff, but like in reality, most of us we're all working together to create like a moving machine that feels good. It's not about like the individual, it's about the band. And I think people really like that. It's really like personable to other people as well.
Totally.
But yeah, it's I love just like having something that feels good, like Hanging Back in that kind of way. Do you know what I'm kind of trying to say with that?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it's just like contributing to like this final picture.
100%. Most of the music that I listen to now, it's like not guitar solo driven or
Yeah.
like solo driven at all.
It's
you know
not
what I
really
mean?
like a huge thing currently.
Yeah,
like,
it's
in this day and age.
I mean, solos in general, it's really more about like on a pop level, it's really more about the production than anything else.
Yeah.
And I think that's a pretty cool thing that I like to think about now a lot. But ultimately, I think whatever serves a song,
yeah,
lines, lyrics, melodies, arrangement stuff, I'm much more into than thinking about like who's playing what on the guitar or like
Right.
any
Yeah.
instrument. You know what I
only
mean?
musicians think that way.
Yeah.
Like people don't like a person who loves music but doesn't know an instrument just knows that it feels good.
Right.
It's like that's what you want to give
They
to
don't care
them.
who played it.
Yeah, they're not like, oh, that was like a major 9 sharp. Like they're not gonna think about a chord. They're gonna think about, oh, that made me feel sad, or that made me feel about a memory, or that made me think about this time when I was a kid.
Right.
Like that's what matters, I think, with music.
Totally.
Granted, both I feel like have their own respect.
Definitely school of thoughts. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And going back to that too, especially like inspiration, I feel like I can name more inspirations for like just music in general than
Yeah.
like guitarists. Like I guess it's like I try to see myself as like a composer with a guitar rather than a guitar player.
I feel that. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very driven by like soundtracks and like movie scores and stuff. Like we're all movie people.
Yeah,
so like having like that too behind us is such like I feel like a great thing, just because like, when you watch a movie and a song makes you feel a way, like why does it do that?
Yeah.
Like even if there's no fucking words to it, like how does it feel like it has, like it's telling you something?
Totally.
It's like looking for that.
Hell yeah. I love that.
I have a guitar question. I don't play guitar. I know like 4 chords. It's pretty dope. But
That's pretty dope.
That's all you need.
it basically comes down to like when it comes down to like electric guitar, like classical electric guitar, if that's even a thing. Like when you hear a piano player playing and it's classical piano or jazz piano, it's always a piano. Like there's maybe reverb on it and that's it. There's never any like pedals or anything like that. What's the like base level guitar tone sound that's like considered like classical or
Nylon
whatever?
string acoustic guitars.
No, I'm saying
Or
no,
like-
not acoustic.
Like
Your staple
electric.
guitar sound.
Exactly. I'm saying like just yeah.
Walk into a guitar center
Yeah. Okay.
True.
and just listen.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's like
That-
mild, crunchy guitar with like a little bit of like spring verb,
For
like like kind of like dad rock y.
yeah, well, for like electric guitar, you're saying like the bass line
Yeah.
sound for electric guitar.
Yeah, like if you like in my mind, like since a piano is obviously there's going to be different sounding pianos, but they're basically all exactly the same.
Yeah.
What is the like that bass level, floor model
I feel like
guitar?
okay, this would create a debate.
Yeah, that's
When
what
I think like when I think of a guitar, I think of Strat.
Yeah.
I think of a Fender, and I think it's just because Fender's really good at marketing themselves as like being the guitar. But then some people will be like, oh, like Gibson has been around longer,
Yeah.
so they have been around longer, right?
They have been around
think so.
longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
I would think of like a Gibson like playing an open E chord with like a fucking distortion. And that's a guitar sound.
Yeah.
Any person you ask the street, that's what they're gonna tell you a guitar sound is.
Yeah, totally. I think I think that debate is real, and I think that like the answer to your question would be
Yeah, what's like the most pure
the Fender
electric guitar?
the Fender and Gibson tone. I think that they're interchangeable. But definitely through a Fender amplifier, probably like a 59 Bassman or like an early like Vibrolux or something.
Yeah.
Something from that era.
With no pedals.
No pedals,
Like
just
Motown, like-
just drive just turn the volume up to like fucking 8.
Oh yeah,
And then just get that natural drive that comes from the amp with a Fender, a Tele, a Strat, or a Les Paul. And that's like your bottom, like bass line, like kind of guitar
I'm
tone.
just thinking about it because I never did like competitions or anything like that for like jazz or anything. But there's not always, but there's sometimes a jazz guitarist, electric guitarist.
Yeah, jazz.
But every other instrument has been playing the exact same instrument since 1905.
Yeah.
But the electric guitar is like, well, I got this Vox pedal and the wah and all this other stuff like there, and then you're like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
You can't get to do that.
You have synthesizers though.
Not in a jazz competition, like old school.
I don't know what you're talking about jazz competition, but
You know
like
what I'm talking about.
like in a
just
jazz setting though, there's
Yeah.
still synthesizers like Herbie Hancock.
I'm saying no. He's past. I'm talking about like at a school or something like that.
Oh, like just like combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Exactly.
always piano.
You
It's
know?
like a piano.
Definitely, like guitars. I feel like with jazz guitars too, it's just that tone knob. It's just
all the way
And
back.
all the way
it's
down.
It's
Yeah.
all Freddie Green. You know,
Yeah.
like 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Like the amount of because I did the jazz band in like middle school and high school, and the amount of times I heard Freddie Green's name come up literally drove me insane. Like people called me Freddie Green because people were like, "Oh, you should just play the Freddie Green like way." And I'm like, "Why? Why does everyone like?" Well, I mean, he was really good, but like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Every time.
Well, then they started. At some point, it was like the guitar players started to comp like the piano players.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, like the stabs and you
Yeah.
know, like I find that way more
It's
interesting.
way more interesting.
But when you have a pianist doing that,
Can't do that.
you can't do that. Then they're like Freddie Green, and there's
Yeah.
always a pianist in the jazz class, so it's like you can never do anything cool.
Yeah.
So
And he's not playing they aren't playing synthesizers.
Yeah. No, they're not playing.
They're playing a
synthesizers.
piano.
So what's your question?
But the guitarist gets to come in and be like, yeah, I got a pedal board and all this other stuff, and just like, that's not fair.
I don't know how much of that they're using in jazz combos.
I'm saying,
but-
and that's
in
what I'm
school-
trying
the
to get
school
at.
setting
It
anyways.
should have to be like you can only use this the guitar, otherwise you're cheating.
Just ham and
You're
cable.
cheating
This is all
and
you
you're-
get.
this
Yeah.
is
what you're saying.
nothing
Sounding too
more.
good.
Just use a fucking like old like acoustic, plug it into like some like I don't even know, they didn't have anything to plug it into back in the early 1900s.
They should
so-
make
Yeah,
you
just
play an
play it
electric
hard.
guitar,
Yeah.
but it has to be like not plugged into anything, and it just put a microphone up next to it.
Yeah,
Anyway, it's just a fleeting thought that I had. My ADHD riddled brain just
Yeah.
had to say something.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it is a debate for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, so you guys want to do some unpopular opinions?
Yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Yeah. All right, Bill, what you got?
My unpopular opinion is I think Spotify should be subsidized by the government. It should be free, and then also they should have if you're a musician and you put songs up there, then you should get like a monthly check just for doing your hardest.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yes.
The only industry in which like that would exist.
No, I know.
Like everything else is merit based and like sales based and like whatever, but not music. Just upload your song, we'll just pay you for it.
No, exactly.
Upload white noise.
Yeah.
But I just think it's I'll just go into it more. I'm like it's all you can get any music, any song on the planet right now for $10 a month. Just cut a check.
How do you quantify that?
No, I'm saying cut a check for the people. At least it's make Spotify free. Is what I'm trying to say.
I don't get it.
It would cost $10 a month. It's like the cheapest thing the government could do. Like, hey, well, if not Spotify, at least Netflix. You know what I mean? Let them eat cake. Is all I'm trying to say.
Hey,
And
I
how,
just want
how
everything for free.
yeah.
Not everything. Just
Netflix.
it's $10 a month.
yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah,
How the art
It would be so easy to be like, sorry, like gas prices are $5 a gallon right now, but you can listen to Smash Mouth whenever you want to for free.
crying in your car.
and how do the artists get paid?
Government
The government just how do they know how much to pay the artists?
by the streams.
By the streams.
Yeah, it's nothing would change except it's just the government pays them.
So then us as consumers, our taxes go up to
If
pay
we
for
wouldn't be
that.
consumers anymore, we would just be just
Well,
citizens.
the government still has to pay for it though. Somebody,
no,
so
no.
which means
No, yeah.
how does the government pay for it then? They raise our taxes.
No.
How do they pay for it then?
they cut the entire military.
They cut the entire military.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't need any more.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that
For
much,
music.
though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's an interesting thought, and I hate it.
It's an unpopular opinion.
Because then all the work that you guys did, right? Whatever you're seeing right
They're
now,
still
just
getting paid
I
from the
bet
government.
Uncle Sam, pay me, please.
yeah.
I need a cheeseburger.
I need a cheeseburger. Yeah, I don't like that opinion at all. It sucks.
Right.
Very
So
unpopular. Yeah. And let's see. I wrote mine down. Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
it's not gonna hurt anybody's feelings though. So
You never know. There's some weird people out there.
Someone's gonna come in bed. Actually,
Actually. So my unpopular opinion this week is that I think that glamorizing bands sleeping in vans and on like hotel room floors and stuff like that as a method or like a mode of legitimacy is bullshit.
You watch that Adam Neely
I did
thing?
watch
Yeah,
that and
you
I
watched
agree with that
finally?
100%.
All right.
I think it's
Did y'all
fucking
watch that too?
I did
haven't
not.
seen it,
I
but
did
I
not
love
know. I
that.
gotta
Okay.
watch
I'll
it.
send
really
it to
good.
you.
It's like a half an hour video, but it's really good. And he basically goes down, the line of all their expenses and, how COVID's affected their turnouts and, just reliability of shows. We've all felt that effect for sure.
Yeah.
And then he was just getting he was talking about some of the cuts they had to make and some of the things they had to do in order to make the tours work. And then people were laughing at them and telling them, well, you should just be sleeping in the van anyways, or just find someone's house to stay in and blah, blah, blah.
Rolling Stone and Pitchfork said that too.
Yeah.
To just sleep in the van.
Sleep
Yeah,
in the
just sleep in the van.
I don't think they realize how messy that van gets.
Well, and then, and
Just that, but like any other job in the world, if you're like a contractor to go
Yeah, you get a hotel.
work, yeah, they give you a hotel.
I mean, to be fair, they're not contracted to go and work. They are their own enterprise, and they're renting the spaces and they're selling to. So it's not the venues are hiring them to come and play. However, I
Sign
will say,
contracts, right?
yeah, you sign contracts,
Same
having to come
thing.
and perform. It's not the same thing,
Basically.
So anyways, the the idea though that you have to live that life to be a legitimate touring act, because a lot of the slack that we're getting were from other touring bands,
Yeah.
specifically in the punk and metal scene. And no offense, that world does what they do, and it's hard and good
Yeah,
for them.
that's a hard.
It's a hard grind, and they do it because they love it, and more power to you. However, not everybody has to do it that way.
Yeah.
And this idea that somehow you have to sleep in a van or eat one meal a day, and it's going to be a McDonald's
Always
cheeseburger.
McDonald's.
Always
at 3
McDonald's.
o'clock
Or talk
in the
about
morning.
Taco's
it's cheaper
valid.
than McDonald's now.
It is, and not probably as bad for you. But I don't know if
Yeah.
there's any substance to that
You pay a
statement.
fucking price. I'll tell you that much.
But yeah, I don't know. Not to say that there's not any validity to having that experience at some point in your career, but to say that that's the only way, and that anybody that's doing it above that scale is somehow selling out or whatever, which that's a fucking bullshit term anyways.
Yeah,
It's
that
like-
is. Yeah.
There's so many levels of it.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I hate that mentality for sure.
Yeah, it's like that suffering artist argument where it's come on,
Yeah.
can I not be happy and also do what I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there's got to be some fucking payoff to this, we
Yeah.
still have to exist in society and
But-
be contributing members.
But having the government subsidize Spotify, that's an awful
Oh my God.
idea.
Yeah, it's
My
terrible.
bad.
Subsidize
No.
our hotels.
Yeah, exactly. Subsidize tours.
They actually-
Yeah.
in Europe, they actually do that.
No way.
Yeah.
Man, we should really model their
Especially
society.
if you're going overseas. There was this Israeli blues band that was touring around the country for a while. And this is when I was in the blues scene down in South Florida, and they would come through. And I remember this agent that I was working with at the time, he was like, yeah, their entire tour is subsidized by Israel.
Actually, okay, so
That's
this
crazy.
this is actually a really this is a history thing on. I couldn't tell you the name of it, but the U.S. back a long time ago, quote, I don't know how long. I do know this history fact.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to spread American culture,
Oh.
so they subsidized bands going to other
They
countries.
did do this.
and they still do it.
They still do this,
it.
but this is more of
Yeah.
this is true, and this is more of a propaganda thing than it is
It
we
was,
just want to
yes.
spread it. So what they would do is they sponsored Duke Ellington,
Yeah.
and they sponsored a bunch of jazz artists back in the day to go to certain countries in Africa that were under communist rule, and they would go there to
see-
try and overthrow the governments because what they realized is that the first way to get people on your side is by exposing them to your culture. If you
Yeah.
expose them to your culture, you get them on your side politically, and then
There's always an under level,
Right.
You never actually get
the full story.
They're not just paying for you. It's like you're paying another way.
Totally. And and it's really sad because there's artists, and the government did this. They would start up these fake corporations. They would start them up and do them under these names or whatever. And there were certain artists like Nina Simone was one of the artists. She went to I think South Africa and was there on a tour that was sponsored by the American government, but she was notoriously anti-American government because of just obviously the dynamic back then.
Yeah.
So she never found out, but she spent the majority of her touring life working on behalf of the American government.
Oh, that's
and then eventually
crazy.
she left America. She moved to I think somewhere in Africa. I can't remember that, but she died there. But she died never knowing that most of her career was working on behalf of the American government.
Is the most that's the irony in it.
Yeah.
It's like insane. Holy
So yes,
shit.
you're right. They do that. I think that not to say that there's not any kind of unscrupulous people in the European Union, but I do believe that they value culture more than we do here in America. So I think that when the government sponsors low-level touring bands to go overseas, it really is just to expose them to the culture.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, like a band like that I'm talking about, we're playing like bars.
Yeah.
We're not talking we're selling out arenas here and exposing Americans to socialism or to communist rule. We're talking like we're just, hey, we play blues in Israel also. Check out what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're
Israeli blues.
Yeah, it's like just cultural ambassadors, and that's the difference. We were trying to spread propaganda.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's an element of that happening with the EU as well, or in Europe.
Yeah, you never know.
I'm sure, yeah.
But
there's always.
But yeah, so you were right. You're spot on. That happened a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's history fact.
Yeah. We've talked about that on the show, and Billy doesn't believe anything that I just said.
Oh, I just don't believe in conspiracy.
Yeah, except for Elliot Smith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a conspiracy; it's still an open case. So.
Yeah. Okay. So what are your unpopular opinions?
I hate popcorn.
You hate popcorn?
Yeah, I think it's a horrible food.
That is the most un-American thing anybody's ever said on the show.
I think popcorn's a weird thing to eat. It gets in your teeth, and
It doesn't
taste good.
Worth it. And also, it does taste good.
Well, the butter tastes good, right? Popcorn's pretty much flavorless. Salt and butter taste good.
You can put caramel on it.
Yeah.
Or cheddar.
I see what you're saying. I love popcorn, but I see what you're saying, though.
It doesn't do it for me, man. I don't know.
I hate when it when the kernel piece stabs in your gum. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Actually cuts your gum.
It's in there, yeah.
And you pull it out like it's a knife.
Yeah.
That's the worst. Other than that, I do like popcorn.
That could have been my unpopular opinion. I love that feeling.
Okay, actually, wait, hold up. This is a real thing. The pain in your mouth, it kind of feels good.
It does, right?
I've got a pretty bad oral fixation and everything.
Yeah.
What?
And I do this
what is
constantly.
that?
I'm just hurting myself. I don't know why.
What is what?
What is that? Do you know the science behind that, or
No, but I do know. I have a retainer. I wear it at night, but sometimes I forget to wear it for a month. I'll put it back in. It's adjusting my teeth. I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
it
because
feels
it's
bad.
working.
It feels good. Yeah.
Because it's working. There's got to be a psychological thing with that. But there are things I think that for instance, if you guys know when you get that chicken or something stuck in your molars and it just sits there for a couple of days.
Yeah, you get it out.
And it's yeah, but it hurts. You feel it lodged in there and it hurts, right? And so eventually you get it out and there's this pain. You can kind of feel the blood coming out, but that pain feels good. Maybe it's a sense of relief.
Yeah.
But there's also a sense of picking at it that feels good too.
Every dentist watching this is
real?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh,
Shout out to our dentist.
we're taking sponsors, by the way.
Dr. Birdie, if you're watching right down the street, please sponsor it.
My orthodontist from when I was in middle school would hate me because those you had braces.
Yeah.
Those the permanent retainers they put.
Yeah, I have one right now.
I still have one. Yeah.
You still have one? I got about 3 of them left on there because they just come undone after a while.
Really?
Yeah, because I fuck with stuff too. I'll it's just there still. I've had it for 20 years, but I'll still feel it there, and then I'll just mess with it, and then eventually it just comes undone. So I've lost probably 4 of those little pieces, and then the metal part sticks out. So I'll just rub my tongue against it.
It'll cut your tongue.
Yeah, it'll cut my tongue.
Everyone here is touching their permanent retainer right now.
Yeah.
Anyone listening is touching their permanent.
Yeah,
I
100%.
didn't get to get to do that.
Yeah, most people in Kentucky didn't, though. I would imagine.
Not really.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
bad
UK
luck for
and
you
UK.
guys. So what's your unpopular opinion, Mitch?
Ooh, this is gonna make some people angry. Not in a bad way, but
Am I gonna get angry?
you might get a little bit. I think Marvel is like tanking.
You think it's
Like-
tanking, or do you not
They
enjoy
ran
it?
out of
Okay.
new comic book heroes.
Okay, so that's what like ever since Endgame, it's been like you know like they've started a new wave. They're trying to like basically build up to some new thing that we have no idea yet. But currently, it just feels like every single thing they make, you're just waiting to see another character from another movie to make it cool.
That's big.
You know? And it's like it's just
feel that.
it's like cameo central. Other than I did like Spider-Man, but that's just because I have nostalgia of Spider-Man. But a lot of these characters, it's like they're just introducing to us the first time, and like I can't do it anymore.
It's too much.
I can't be introduced to new characters. Granted, though, like if you put it in the Star Wars universe, I'd be like, I don't care. This is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had so many movies. It was like almost like 20 movies. Like just call it a day.
There's so many. Or just like find a new way, because I feel like every single movie is like somehow the hero is like back on his like full potential or her full potential, and they're gonna reach their full potential by the end. And the enemy that they have is like more powerful than them, and they get in the first fight and they lose, and then they have friends or maybe a cameo, and then they train somehow, and then they go and they fight them the second time, and then they almost win, and then they lose, and then the last 30 minutes is them winning.
So I'm a recruiter for Marvel writing.
Yeah.
You sure you don't
Yeah.
want to join this?
And you
that's-
live here in Fernandina.
Yeah.
Huh? Strange.
That's all them,
Yeah.
those movies. All they are just punching, and I don't understand it.
They
because
never get
it's-
hurt.
They never get hurt.
Why are you
wh-
punching?
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, somebody bring out a gun in this. I'm like, guns don't,
Yeah, they
guns don't do anything.
You need some like
but punches do.
You
But
need
they don't.
superpowers.
Wait,
Also.
no, Hitmonkey though. That's Marvel, and there's a lot of guns in that, and it's pretty good.
yeah, and that's kind of like off. Like you
Their
don't hear
niche
about
stuff
that
is
much. Yeah.
fantastic, like MODOK, Hitmonkey.
I don't know any of that stuff.
See, that's probably the stuff that's really cool. I don't know any about it, but like their basic mainstream like Hollywood movies now, it's like just let one of the superheroes like die, like actually die.
It's actually died and like never
Yeah.
come back.
No,
Kill
like
them on screen.
not like Iron Man die, like oh sad, like
Spoiler.
brutally die
Yeah.
in one of your
Are you
movies.
telling me Iron Man dies?
Spoiler.
Wow.
Oh, well, I mean it's been out for years. It's been out.
No, I'm
Sorry.
pretty sure Bruce Willis was dead the whole time too in The Sixth Sense.
So
So,
sad
Yeah,
what's happening
yeah,
to him.
yeah.
yeah.
You know what's happening to him, right?
What's happening?
He's got
though?
this brain disorder.
Oh
disease.
yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
terrible.
And so he's about to be like completely.
Yeah.
Not
Just a
amnesia. What's it
fucking
called?
veg.
It's
Alzheimer's?
Oh, like
it's a
Alzheimer's
type of it's a
almost.
strain of
Dementia.
Alzheimer's where you can't understand or speak language. So
Yeah.
he won't know what you're saying, and he doesn't know how to speak
That's
anymore
terrible.
towards you. So, but he can do everything else.
Anyways, I'm really looking forward to Die Hard 6.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
came in with the freaking
That joke was
Side
layered too.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Here's what I will say about the Marvel thing. I mean, I don't really like any of them ever. That was one of my unpopular opinions early on, that I just don't like the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think that it's too much to keep up with.
Yeah.
And I will say that if there's a movie, if there's a superhero that is doing it somewhat differently now, I guess it's like the Spider-Verse thing. That's
Yeah.
kind of a cool concept.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's kind of like a spin-off of what they've done in the comic books or not, but I think it's kind of a cool idea. But either way, I think the acting always sucks. The storylines are boring as fuck.
Yes.
And I just legitimately just stopped
The
caring.
bad guy is just bad for no reason. I don't really understand that either.
Fucking
It's just like,
And sometimes they're bad, and you're like, you know what? Like, I kind of believe you. Like,
Yeah.
You kind of have a point. Like the guy, what is the Ultron guy? He like downloaded the internet and then wanted to eliminate the human species. I was like, if
pretty
you
fair.
Yes.
you looked at the entire internet, you would want to eliminate this planet. Like,
Yeah.
that's your
Agreed.
only bias. You know.
Do you believe that perspective is
Can y'all look up
correct, though?
when Iron Man came out? The original
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
What year?
Deep internet.
You don't mind? Because I'm just saying, like, if it's long enough and the way that they're like remaking movies now, just start from the beginning and just
They're-
go on.
That's what they're doing now.
Just no Iron Man, like
Just
a
Iron Man
reboot.
again?
Yeah,
Yes.
just do Iron
That's
Man.
That's
title.
what they're doing now.
2008. I mean, like it's
2000
almost. It's been over 15 years.
Yeah.
Or no, it'll be 15 years next year.
Yeah.
That
That's
was a
enough
great
time.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, Robert
I
Downey Jr. is the best.
you
You
know-
should have never killed him.
You know,
Duh.
you know what's crazy is that when that movie came out, they didn't trust Robert Downey Jr. enough with his past to where they pushed his co-leader actors and actresses, I believe, around him. They marketed them more than they did him, and he became like one of the biggest actors in the world, like, you know, because of all that. But it's kind of crazy, like, because, you know, he had like a
Huge drug addict. Yeah, big time.
and like it's nuts. Like if you look back, they didn't push him as much as like the movie itself.
That's fair. That's fair though. You know what I mean? Like they
People
probably
can change.
but they can change. But like, do you want to wait for them to change on your dime? They probably pay like
Yeah.
$10 million for him. You know what I mean? On a movie that probably cost them over $100 million to make. So that's a bit of a risk for them. You know,
Yeah.
So I totally get that 100%. But like, he's since been clean for quite some time.
Oh
now.
yeah, he's
And
totally different.
one of the greatest actors on the face of the planet.
Yeah,
he's
and,
pretty
and then he died, and now it's like he didn't actually die.
Yeah. His character
And
died,
the-
yeah.
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark died, and now it's like I kind of checked out.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I kind of spot watched them anyways. I never watched any of the Hulks.
The Thor stuff's pretty good. Like Ragnarok is pretty good.
See, I didn't watch that.
Taika
Ragnarok.
Waititi is
What's all
Okay,
that?
I do.
great
I do like
director.
that.
So anything he does is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped watching after like the second Spider-Man came out.
I've seen.
I
them
was
all,
like done.
but I just had the same. It's just it's not. It's the same movie every time, but there's just so much punching, and I just don't understand
There
why.
is so much,
Stop
and they
punching.
hurt too. You hear them. Like the sound
But it-
designer for the punches has such a big job because
Yeah.
they are punching all the time.
Probably so rich though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, I'm the punch guy.
Yeah, the punch.
They just
guy.
have a punch guy for Marvel.
You think they just hired like one sound designer for the punching alone?
Yeah, literally. Like, listen to the punches when you watch the Marvel movie. If you ever do again, like
Yeah.
every single one sounds like a death blow, and they just take it like it was like a airsoft gun. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's really funny.
I don't get it.
They gotta do something to spice
understand
up
the
because the
logic.
acting is so bad. The dialogue,
Yeah.
scripts are terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
Whatever.
multiverse stuff is pretty cool. They're doing now, even though it's so fucking confusing. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
That's what I'm saying. It's cool concepts. So it's just a lot to keep up with, you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is a
thank
blast.
you.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to do this again.
Yes.
To
Absolutely.
get the whole band on
Yeah.
here.
Get
All
everyone
five
on
of
the
us.
couch.
Yeah.
We'll all fit
We'll
in
start
here.
sitting
Yeah.
on the roof.
Hopefully we'll have like a different space by that time. So
Yeah.
we'll keep you guys in the loop.
Heck yeah.
Heck
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. This is Bottom of the Bill. We'll see you guys next time.
Adios, muchachos.